Okay, welcome back in. I'm going to be covering Sunday's action from the National Hockey League. There are only 4 games, so this video shouldn't take that long. Starting in Carolina as the Hurricanes played host to the St. Louis Blues. I actually scrolled all the way over before I was even supposed to. So in the first period, Jake Neighbors would open up the scoring, getting his 5th goal of the year, assisted by Jordan Kyrou, 6:05 of the opening frame. With 25 seconds to go in the first, Andrei Svechnikov would tie the game up, getting his 6th of the season from Nietzsche and Shane Gothisberg. In the second period, just 17 seconds in, Eric Robinson would give the Hurricanes a 2-1 lead, his 5th of the year from Orlov and Nietzsche. Speaking of Nietzsche, he'd get on the goal scorer sheet himself, adding on to the lead, getting his 10th of the year, assisted by Robinson, 12:26 of the second frame. In the third period, he'd on the goal score sheet again, getting his second goal of the game, his 11th of the year, assisted by Robinson and Kotkaniemi. And that goal happened with 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the third. So the Hurricanes would be down by one, get 4 straight goals, obviously winning 4-1. I'm going to try to avoid playing any videos because it seems silly to have a video when you have the ad pop up in the middle. So I'll just go back to telling who scored. Okay, so the Vegas Golden Knights played host to the Washington Capitals. Ovechkin would have a monster game again. I'll get on to his goal record streak as soon as I'm done. He'd start things off in the first, getting his 11th of the year, a power play goal from Carlson and Dylan Strome, roughly 6 minutes into the first period. Jacob Chechurkin would increase the lead to 2-0, getting his 5th of the year, assisted by Dylan Strome, 12:26 of the first. Brett Howden would finally get the Vegas Golden Knights on the board, getting his 7th of the year, assisted by Pietrangelo and Pearson, and that goal happened with 8 seconds remaining on the clock. In the second period, Jacob Vrana would increase the lead to 3-1, getting his 4th of the year, assisted by Protas and Rasmus Sandin, 2 minutes and 49 seconds into the middle frame. Keegan Kolster would cut the lead to 3-2, making it interesting at least, getting his 5th of the year from Hurdle and Jack Eichel, 7:24 of the second period. Ovechkin would add on to the lead, getting his second goal of the game, his 12th of the year, assisted by Matt Roy, with 2 minutes and 22 seconds to go. In the third period, Vegas would pull their goalie down by 2. Unfortunately, it did not work out, as Ovechkin would get his 3rd goal of the game, aka a hat trick, his 13th of the season, assisted by Protas and for Hevery. So the Capitals would win 5-2. That is now goal 866. He now only needs 29 more goals to break Wayne Gretzky's record. And at this pace, he might even get it done this season. That would be a huge accomplishment in his career. Now we're off to Seattle as the Kraken played host to the New York Rangers. There was no scoring in the first. We have to jump ahead to the second with 2.5 minutes to go. Alexis Lafreniere would finally get the Rangers on the board, getting his 7th goal of the year, assisted by Panarin. In the third period, Zach Jones would get his 1st goal of the year, assisted by Kakko and Cooley, 2:58 of the third period. That's where we'd stand at the end of regulation, so the Rangers would shut out the Kraken 2-0. And the last game took place in Vancouver as the Canucks played host to the Nashville Predators. Zachary LaRue, I believe, would get his first career National Hockey League goal, so congratulations, assisted by Cole Smith and Michael McCarron, 5:28 of the opening frame. Adu Ratty would get his 1st goal of the year, assisted by Brandstrom and Danton Heinen, 11:34 of the first, tying the game up at 1. Elias Pettersson would break the tie in the second, getting his power play goal, his 6th of the year, assisted by Quinn Hughes and Connor Garland, 9:51 of the middle frame. Steven Stamkos would tie the game up, getting a power play goal of his own, his 5th of the year from Yossi and Ryan O'Reilly, 12:17 of the second period. Roman Yossi would score just over 2 minutes after that, giving Nashville their second lead or third lead of the night, whatever it was at that point. Well, I think it was their second lead. Getting his 2nd goal of the year, assisted by Brady Shea and Philip Forsberg. In the third, late in the second, I should say, first, Steven Stamkos would strike again, getting his 2nd goal of the game, his 6th of the year. Another power play goal from Marchessault and Forsberg, and that goal happened with 22 seconds remaining in the second period. So Nashville had a 4-2 lead heading into the third period. Kiefer Sherwood would cut the lead to 4-3, getting his fourth of the year from Danton Heinen and Tyler Myers, with exactly 6 minutes to go in the third. Now I can say that the Vancouver Canucks pulled their goalie down by one, but unfortunately it did not pan out, as Gustav Nyquist would get the empty netter, his sixth goal of the year, with 21 seconds remaining. So Nashville would go into Vancouver and win by a final score of 5-3. Okay, we'll take a look at the standings, as I always do, as of Monday morning. So starting in the Atlantic Division, the Florida Panthers are still on top of there, 12-5-1. They have 25 points. The Leafs are right on their tail, though, with a record of 11-6-2. They have 24 points. And Tampa Bay rounds out the top three of that division with a record of 9-6-1. They have 19 points. In the Metropolitan Division, we have the Carolina Hurricanes, who are in first place with a record of 13-4-0. They have 26 points. The Devils are in second place with a record of 12-7-2. They also have 26 points. And the Washington Capitals are 12-4-1. They have 25 points. So three teams are separated by literally 1 point. The two teams in the wild card are the New York Rangers, but they have a record of 11-4-1. They have 23 points. And the Boston Bruins are 8-3. They have 19 points. Okay, looking at the rest of the Eastern Conference, the Philadelphia Flyers are 8-2. They have 18 points. They're just a point back of the Bruins, so obviously if they win their next game and the Bruins happen to lose, Philly would jump back into a playoff picture. The New York Islanders also have 18 points. They have a record of 7-4. The Ottawa Senators have a record of 8-1. They have 17 points. The Buffalo Sabres also have 17 points with a record of 8-9-1. The Pittsburgh Penguins are 7-10-3. They also have 17 points. The Detroit Red Wings are 7-9-1. They have 15 points. The Blue Jackets and Canadiens have 14 points respectively, but because Columbus played one less game and they have one less loss, they're ahead of Montreal at the bottom two. 6-9-2 and 6-10-2 are the records respectively. Okay, heading over to the Western Conference. The Winnipeg Jets are still atop of the Central Division with a record of 15-3-0. The Minnesota Wild are 11-3-3. They have 25 points. And the Dallas Stars are 11-5-0. They have 22 points. Over in the Pacific Division, the Vegas Golden Knights are 11-5-2. They have 24 points. The Los Angeles Kings are 10-6-3. They have 23 points. And the Vancouver Canucks round out the top three. They have a record of 9-5-3 for 21 points. The two teams in the wild card are still the two Alberta teams. The Calgary Flames are in the wild card one position with a record of 9-6-3. They have 21 points. And the Edmonton Oilers are 9-7-2. They have 20 points. Rounding out the rest of the Western Conference, the Seattle Kraken are 9-9-1. They have 19 points. They're just a point out of a wild card spot. The Colorado Avalanche are 9-9-0. They have 18 points. The Utah Hockey Club are 7-7-3. They have 17 points. The St. Louis Blues are 8-10-1. They also have 17 points. The Nashville Predators are 6-10-3. They have 15 points. So they're slowly climbing. They're still 5 points out of a playoff spot, but it's a lot better than being 7 points, which they were before they won their game. And the bottom three of the Western Conference are the Anaheim Ducks. They have a record of 6-8-2 with 14 points. The Sharks also have 14 points with a record of 5-10-4. And rounding out the bottom of that Western Conference are the Chicago Blackhawks with a record of 6-11-1. They have 13 points. So you can tell the teams are starting to separate themselves from the pack. I believe the bottom three teams, the Ducks, Sharks, and Blackhawks, will most likely be the bottom three teams in the Western Conference. Everybody above them, I have high expectations for this season. And the season is still young, as I've always said in most of my videos. A lot of teams still have over 60 games to be played, so there's still a ton of hockey left for the 2024-25 campaign. But obviously, if you're at the bottom of the standings now, it may be very tough to climb. But Nashville's proved me wrong because they were in last place. Now they're winning. and they're only 5 points out of the playoff spot. So if they happen to win their next game, they could easily climb over possibly a couple of teams, depending on how Utah and St. Louis do, respectively. All right, that's going to take care of my recap from the National Hockey League season. As always, if you're new to this channel and you like this type of content, feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. Until next time, and as always, take care.